Hey friends! Wow, the sun is so bright right now. Will you cool it, man? What's up guys, I'm Steph Koza, welcome to my channel if it's your first time here. And for the rest of you, I'm really sorry that it's been a little while since I've posted a video. If you follow me on social media, you'll know that I was recently laid off from my job at BuzzFeed, and that's kind of been taking over my life, and I've just been like scrambling to figure out my life, basically. So I had to take a little bit of time off, but today, we're back, we're here, we're shooting a video about Alita Battle Angel. Alita Battle Angel is directed by Robert Rodriguez. The screenplay was written by James Cameron. It's also produced by James Cameron. I'm pretty sure he was originally supposed to direct this movie, but he got pretty wrapped up in all of his Avatar stuff, so he handed it off to Robert Rodriguez, who did a great job with the film. I will say that I am not familiar with the source material for this movie. I know a lot of people were really excited about this because of their love for the manga, the anime, comics, and I kind of felt like the weird one out. Okay, seriously, the sun is so intense right now, I can't even see my face. Okay, you know what? Oh no, that is worse. Cool. You know, you're just gonna have to deal with this. Okay, just forget about the sun right now. Let's talk about this movie. I know it's been a few weeks, but like shit, I'm a little rusty. Okay, so as I was saying, not super familiar with the source material. Actually, I'm gonna be real with you, I never even heard of it before this movie came out. Shame me if you must. I don't know. I never even knew it was a thing. So my review might be different from someone who's really familiar with the source material if they got things wrong. I have no idea. I'm just gonna review it as a movie that exists on its own. And for me, I thought it was fucking awesome. I saw this movie in 3D, which I normally do not do because I don't really like it. It kind of gives me a headache, but I saw it in 3D, and I actually think it was probably better in 3D because it's so visually beautiful, absolutely stunning. And it's probably the first movie that I have seen where the real life footage and the CG animation blend together so seamlessly that there were times where I was looking at the screen and I was like, I don't know if this is real or not. I literally cannot tell. It was so beautifully melded together. The world building in this film is absolutely breathtaking. And I think that's definitely something that James Cameron is really good at, and I'm sure he was behind all of that because he did it in Avatar. And as I was thinking about this movie, I was thinking about all of his past movies, and it's kind of like if Avatar and Terminator sort of melded into one movie. At least visually, it was very visually like a combination of the two of those things. And what I really enjoyed, and actually sort of threw me off a little bit in the trailers when I first saw this movie, I was like, that's a little bit weird. And that's Alita's design, like her actual character. Because she's supposed to be this sort of otherworldly cyborg thing. And she's also a very beloved anime character. So what they decided to do, what James Cameron specifically decided to do, is to take her big-eyed anime form, put her into a real live-action world, but still keep that big-eyed anime face, which I think is something that could not have been done like 2 years ago, 5 years ago. Like it just wouldn't, we did not have the technology to make that a plausible idea. And in this film, I think it was really cool. Like she looked almost real. She was like almost human, but there was always something just a little bit off about her because she moved a little bit differently. Her eyes are really big, and she just looks like a photoreal anime character. Like if an anime character were to just jump out into the world, it would look like Alita. And I think that's really cool, and it was super well done, and she like fits seamlessly into this world of real live action actors. Watching her interact with them didn't feel weird. At times I kind of forgot that she was like a CG animated thing. I also am really not even sure if she is completely animated, like maybe parts of her were real. I literally do not know. I don't know. And that's so cool that I don't know. I love that. Anyways, enough about Alita. Let's talk about the movie itself. as a film. It's sort of like a weird sci-fi futuristic coming-of-age story where Alita has woken up in this world with this new body given to her by Christoph Waltz's character, who I love. And he's sort of her like father figure. He finds her in a junkyard, he builds her a body, brings her to life, and she wakes up without really knowing who she is. She doesn't really have any memories, and the entire movie is her trying to learn about herself and find herself and figure out who she is. But she faces a lot of obstacles while doing that because of this world that she's in, and I really admire the world building that went into this. I know that wasn't James Cameron or Robert Rodriguez because they just transformed this movie into a movie. So the world building really goes all the way back to the manga and the people who made that. But I think that this movie truly brought it to life and made it feel so real. Like this world and its politics and the way people live and think. It was just illustrated very, very well, and I truly understood everything about it within the first few minutes of just seeing how things worked and functioned and how people interacted in this world. And the sets were so beautiful. Once again, still not really sure if any of it was a real set. Maybe like little tiny parts of it and then everything else was animated. But I really couldn't tell you because it was so beautiful and I truly felt like I was there. It was so real. And the setting truly does play a character in this movie and in this story because it's like this post-war kind of messed up anarchist world where it's like half humans and half cyborgs and there's bounty hunters and it's very violent and there's a lot of crime and it's just kind of like a scary, dangerous world to be in. So Alita has to like fight her way through this world to figure out who she is. And it's really fun to watch. A, because Alita is a really cool character. I truly love her. I think she's this perfect combination of cute, adorable, innocent anime girl and like badass will beat you to a pulp anime girl. I loved her personality. I think the dialogue for her specifically was very, very good. You just instantly fell in love with her and she just, I just loved her. But what I truly loved was the action. I have never seen anime action fight scenes brought to life so well in my entire life. Like this entire film, I was like, wow, that is like, you'd see that move in an anime. That was an anime scene, but it is real and I'm watching it happen in real life and it is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I would watch 3 hours of Alita just kicking people in the face. I would watch that with no plot. It would be amazing. I mean, that's kind of what this movie is, but there's also like a plot, which is nice and adds some character to the movie. But honestly, like the action could stand alone. It's so well choreographed, so well animated. Alita is so fierce and you can see her personality in the way that she fights and she's very emotion driven as a fighter and she is just this warrior woman and I am here for it. I will say this film is a little bit complicated. I think it does a very good job at making this complicated story make sense and not make you feel lost, but there is a lot going on. There are a lot of bad guys, a lot of villains. There's like one specific big villain, but he sort of has a lot of puppets underneath him and that's kind of a lot to take in, but I enjoyed all of them. I thought they were all really interesting in their own unique sort of way, but it was kind of like a lot happening at once. Like I said, I thought Christoph Waltz was amazing in this film. He's probably my second favorite character right next to Alita. He just has this very charming, heartwarming way about him where you just love him immediately. And then there's just a lot of really badass evil cyborg people. They all kind of have their own little quirky characteristics. There's also this really cool sport that they play and it's super original and very, very cool to watch. Very violent, very action-packed, super fast. It's just so much fun. Everything in this movie is so much fun. This was a blast. I had a thrilling time watching Alita Battle Angel and I was super, super surprised walking out of the theater with how much I loved it. There are very few problems I have with it. Like I said, there are a lot of like villains and bad guys all kind of at once, though it does help to keep the story interesting, so I'm not really going to consider that a flaw. However, I do think like Act 2 in particular was a little bit slow compared to the rest of the movie. Like the middle of the film sort of dragged on a little bit for me. Not enough to really be a huge problem, but it was just something that I noticed while I was watching it. I was getting a little bit bored. And I also feel like this film is a little bit of a setup for a much bigger franchise, which at first I was a little bit salty about. I was like, I just wanted one thing. But the more that I think about this and the more that I process this idea, I think they're truly doing it right. Because here's the thing, like I said, I have not read or seen the anime, manga, whatever. I don't know anything about it. But I do know most of the time, anime is just so big. There's just so much story to tell that and that's probably why anytime someone tries to make a live action anime movie, it's bad. It's never good because they try to take all of this and wrap it into this, and you just can't do that. So I think this movie is sort of like an origin story. It's an introduction to this world and how it functions, and to Alita. And while it's a little bit of a tease, I think it also kind of has to be that way. And I truly, truly feel like this film is finally opening the gate to filmmakers and directors and producers and being like, hey, this is how you make an anime movie, a live action anime movie. Here is the way to do it, because this is honestly the best live action anime film I've ever seen in my life. They truly figured out how to do it. It's beautiful. They bring to life these kind of cartoony things and make them believable and real and awesome. And I just loved this film. I really did. I'm gonna give Alita Battle Angel a 4.5 out of 5. So, let me know if you guys saw Alita. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. I would love to hear your thoughts. Once again, sorry it's taken me so long to post a video, but I am back. I will hopefully be posting every Friday again, or whenever a movie comes out that I need to review. We're gonna get back on track. It's the year of content, guys. We're gonna do this. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Steph, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!